Hey, this is Professor Ken. Thanks for joining me for this session. So what I wanted to talk to you today about is distribution channels. Now, if you remember, we talked about the marketing mix, the 4 Ps. We started with product, then there was promotion, and then there's place, and then there's price, right? So this is one of the Ps. This is place. Now, place is not like the physical location of where you're putting the product, although it can be defined that way in most cases. It's actually the distribution channel that you have for your product. So what does that mean? Well, that means if I make a product, I need to get it to a consumer. Someone has to buy the product in order for me to be successful. Well, I need to figure out how I can distribute my product to them and what channel that is. So there are 4 basic channels that we could get a product to a consumer by, and we'll discuss those 4. Now, one of them we probably use every day, and it's become more relevant in these days during the pandemic and after the pandemic, because it was really the only way we could get a product, and that's online. And that is called the direct to consumer channel. Now, I don't want you to get confused by thinking that direct to consumer means just selling things online. There's actually a little more detail there. But the first channel, the first way that you can get a product to a consumer is direct. That means I make a product and I sell it directly to you, the consumer. Now you can buy that online from my own website, or I may be through social selling, or maybe even through Amazon. Or in some cases, we have these direct TV commercials that you can buy directly from me as the manufacturer, right? That's an option too. So as long as you're buying it direct from me, the manufacturer, that is direct to the consumer. So that's channel 1. Now, here's a way to think about the channels. Every channel that you choose has profitability opportunities in them. So the least expensive channel, and normally the one that generates the most profit for you, is going direct to a consumer. Now that could be more difficult because that means you have to do a lot of marketing to get the consumer to come directly to you. So you have to spend a little more on marketing, but you make more profit. Let me give you an example of how that works. Let's say it costs you 50 cents to make a product and you sell directly to the consumer. Now that consumer is going to buy the product from you for $1. Now you're happy if you can sell that product for $1 because you are making top line profit 50 cents, right? It costs you 50 cents to make. You sell for $1 depending upon what cost you have to get it to the consumer. You get to keep a majority of that 50 cents. So that profit is larger for you, and that's good. Now you have to worry about marketing and the cost of acquisition and shipping if you do that, things of that nature. So it lowers the profit a little bit. But normally direct to the consumer has a lot of profit opportunity. So that's channel 1, direct from you, the manufacturer, to the consumer. Okay. Channel 2 is what we also do on a regular basis, and that's go to a store. A retail store sells products, and as a consumer, we walk in there and we buy them. Now, the manufacturer sells them to the retail store, and the retail store sells them to you as a consumer. So your second channel is going through a retailer. Now, if you want to make 25 cents on a product, you have to factor that into selling it to retail. So let's say the product costs you 50 cents to make, okay? You want to make 25-cent profit on it. So that means you're selling that product to the retailer for 75 cents, right? 50 plus 25 is 75 cents. Now the retailer will normally take that product and double the cost or mark it up twice. So they'll sell it to the consumer now for $1.50. That means they make money, you make money, the consumer gets the product, and they have ease of access to it. They can get it right away. They can pick it up at the store, and there's a win-win-win situation going on there. Now notice the direct to consumer channel, you were selling it originally for $1. Now the price went up because there's a middleman involved. So generally speaking, the more people involved in distribution, the higher the cost of the product, which means the higher the retail price. Okay, so channel number 2 is selling your product to a retailer. The retailer sells it to the consumer. Now there's a third channel. Let's say we have retailers all throughout the country, but we can't get to them. So we need to find distributors that have connections to these retailers. That's wonderful. So here's what we do. We basically sell it to a distributor. That distributor takes it into the retail for us. That retailer sells the product. And that's how we expand the market reach. Now, everybody needs to make money. So that distributor normally makes about 20% on that particular product. So again, let's keep the same scenario. The cost of your product is 50 cents. You want to make 25 cents on the product. So you sell it to the distributor now for 75 cents. Okay. They add 20% onto it, which means they sell it to the retailer for 90 cents. The retailer needs to double it, so they sell it to the consumer for $1.80. So you see how everyone's making money, but the retail price is going up. Originally, it was $1, then it became $1.50, and now it's $1.80. Okay, that's the third channel. Going to a distributor, the distributor getting it to a retailer, the retailer getting it to a consumer. Now everyone needs to make money, so the price is going up. The fourth channel, it's not as often does this happen, but it is a possibility that you may need what we call a master distributor, or in some cases, an international distributor. So that master distributor has inroads to smaller distributors, which also have connection to other retailers, which have connections, of course, into those local markets to get to the consumers. So now everyone, again, needs to make money. So let's keep the same scenario in mind. That product that costs you 50 cents, you want to make 25 cents top line profit on it. So you sell it to the master distributor for 75 cents. The master distributor normally puts 10% on it, in some cases 20. So let's say he puts 20% on it. So he sells it to the distributor to 90 cents. The distributor now has to make money. So they sell it to the retailer for another 20% above. So they're selling it for $1. And now the retailer doubles that and sells it for $2. So now at the end of the day, the consumer gets it for $2. So now there's a difference between going direct from the consumer, where they pay $1 from you, to $2 through all those channels. So the price goes up. And that's important to keep in mind when you're choosing distribution channels. You also have to understand your pricing and your cost, because your pricing will change as you add on all these different distribution channels. You don't want to have different distribution channels selling the same product at different prices, because that creates what we call channel conflict, and that'll be a problem for you. And you know, if you're successful, you can harm your success, because maybe someone looks at it online, it's half the price as it is in the store. The stores will not be happy with that, and you won't have success either way. So that can cause a problem. So what you really want to do is make sure that pricing is considered when you start choosing your channels, because you want to consider all the channels that you want to get into, and then price it that way. So maybe if you go direct, you make more money, or maybe you can use some of that profitability to pay for the marketing in all these other channels, which is probably a smart idea to do. And you have everything covered, and no matter where you go, that price is the same, which is important, because the consumer wants to know that they're getting a good value too, okay? And then I guess the fifth way could be more of a blurred, what we call omni-channel approach, which is very common now. So you sell online, you sell in retail, you sell a combination where you can order it online and pick it up in the store, or you could return it to the store. So we have this omni-channel approach working, which is becoming more commonplace now. So those are your 4 distribution channels. Number one, direct to the consumer. Number two, from you to a retailer, to a consumer. Number three, from you to a distributor, to a retailer, to a consumer. And number four, from you to a master distributor, from a master distributor to a local distributor, from a local distributor to a local retailer, and then from a local retailer to a consumer. Okay, those are the four channels. And then the fifth one will be a combination of them all. So that is one of the P's in the marketing mix. That's the place, and that's how you would choose your distribution channel.